It's ironic, isn't it? This past January, our first series of the year was called Be Brave. In our church, we passed out wooden nickels and we asked people to write down the one thing that they wanted to get traction in this year. Some wrote down they wanted to get traction in their finances. Others said they wanted a stronger marriage. Still others wrote down that this was the year they're going to face the giant of addiction squarely in the eye and finally stop putting off what they knew they needed to do. Well, for me, I thought long and hard about what I would write down, and I wrote the word down, anxiety. Last year, I was anxious a lot. It robbed me of joy. It robbed me of sleep. I had scenario sickness where you imagine one bad thing after another happening to you or to someone that you love. Friends, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I wrote that word on the coin. I'm going to be brave. This is the year I'm going to overcome my anxiety. I'm going to trust God for all things. And I was doing great. I really was. And then the coronavirus happened. You've read the headlines just like I have. The fear of the unknown can be overwhelming. What do you do when you face times of uncertainty? Well, friends, we remember what we're certain of. And what are we certain of? We're certain that God is with us. We're certain that He'll walk through this valley with us. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Did you know in Israel there's an actual valley that's called the Valley of the Shadow of Death? The sun only hits the bottom of the valley at high noon. The rest of the time, the valley is dark. David probably thought of this valley as he wrote Psalm 23. Friends, in this life, we will go through the valley of the shadow of death. A few years ago, my middle daughter, Hannah, who was just about 5 or 6 at the time, would wake up in the middle of the night and see shadows on her closet door. It would scare her so bad she would start screaming. Well, reluctantly, after I realized my wife wasn't getting out of bed, I got up and ran down the hallway to see what was going on, and there my little girl would be holding onto her pillow just sobbing. I showed her that shadows were nothing to be afraid of. I showed her how a shadow could never do any harm to any person. We need to remember that very important truth today. Shadows might be scary, but they can't hurt us. We walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We don't stay in the valley. And do you know why? It's because Jesus walked that valley of death so you and I would only walk through the valley of the shadow of death. His rod and His staff protect us. Friends, starting tomorrow at noon, I'm inviting you to join me on Facebook and on Instagram for a few minutes where we're going to open up the Bible, get some encouragement from the Lord. Our pastors will be online to pray with you, encourage you. So if you've got some time, I hope that you'll join us. I hope you're having a great day. And you remember this. Remember, greater is He that is in you than he that's in this world. Be brave.